Bagay, bagongene, wala nimbadali.
Fraud alert. Dial 111 to confirm any promotions by Airtel. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The views expressed on the Lusaka Star are not in any way the radio station stand. Radio station stand. The radio promoting excellence. The views expressed on the Lusaka Star are not in any way the radio station stand. Radio station stand.
My soul. Sleep over my soul. Though the road in life gets through, just sleep over my soul. Bring me back, sleep over my soul. Sleep over my soul. Oh, I've been on more than tempest blue. Jaja will sleep over my soul. Every day, every morning, I will sing a song of praise to Him. Hail the King of Kings. Every day I will rise, every morning I will sing, every evening I will lift my voice and praise. I am, oh Lord, sleep over my soul. Sleep over my soul. Though the billows roll and tempest blow, sleep over my soul. I hear a voice in
A beautiful Friday morning it is, and welcome to the Lusaka Star Radio Magazine program, a program which discusses issues affecting our communities, and I'm your presenter, Godwin Lungu. You, our dear listeners, are always part of the program, and you'll be coming through on 0211 29 34 35. That's 0211 29 34 35, the number for your live calls, your text messages on 0965 830293. That's 0965 830293, the number that you are texting us on. And of course, before I introduce my guest this morning, the United Party for National Development, UPND, has been defeated by the Patriotic Front in Luangwa Town Council Chairperson by elections. And of course, let me just play the clip where the returning officer in Luangwa did declare the results, and of course eventually declared Mr. Lawrence Shawa as the duly elected chairperson for the Luangwa Town Council.
Conducting by-election for the council chairperson, we proceed with our work. I, Mwangi Haninga, being the returning officer for Fera constituency, do hereby declare that I have, in accordance with the law, accepted the results of the poll in the said constituency, and that they have been given to Mumba Geoffrey, LM, 6 Pamba Mdala Wamba, Kasote Julius, Independent, 62, Walumba, Jobu Christopher, Socialist Party, Walumba, 384, Lungu Arthur, UPND, 3,767.
So that is the declaration which was made this morning. Congratulations to the Patriotic Front for scooping Luangwa Town Council chairperson by elections. Now remember that in 2021, Lawrence Shawa contested the chairpersonship on a PF ticket, and of course he won. And Arthur Lungu, who contested on the UPND ticket, lost. So Arthur Lungu decided to petition the election results, which declared Lawrence Shawa as the winner. And of course, the election results were nullified. The elections were called. Arthur Lungu has once again been defeated by the same person who defeated him in 2021 general elections. Lazarous Simukoko is with me in the studio. Good morning, Lazarus, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Godwin, and good morning to our listeners.
What other people have described as a humiliating defeat for the UPND in Rwangwa, how would you describe it?
It is not something which is humiliating. Let me make that clear. Because one, the UPND has lost popularity already within a year of them being in government. Apart from that, when people complain, UPND will tell you that we have given you freedom of speech. People are saying meal prices are too expensive for us to afford. The UPND will tell you that we have given you freedom of speech and expression. Now, should you fail to solve people's problems which they are complaining over because of freedom of speech? You tell them stinkala bwino munyumba ise. Stikujja nsima mwetenzo dira kudala. Ati ai ni freedom of speech yo kasitani enjoy. But vantu sibanga dema speeches. And that is why for them immediately you speak. Bazamu mbomuza ati ai freedom of expression, freedom of speech. My freedom of speech oye mkambapo imwe. Vantu siba kude wadandaula at freedom of speech. Vantu wadandaula now again at freedom of speech. Again, the UPND government or the UPND got into power through lies. And the only way they can sustain their stay in power is by lying. They say what you obtained or got by prayers must be sustained by prayers. What you got by lies must be sustained by lies. Manje, you can't lie to the people because immediately you say, we are waking. Why is it that we are buying a bag of meal at an expensive price? Why is it that most of the times when people speak, they are being arrested? People like Mr. Sean Tembo, among others, have been arrested just by them speaking the truth. What can you do when you are not in favor of this government? Gatsumba supporter Nishuadao. State Council John Sangwa was among the people who were praised by the UPND when they were in opposition, saying, this is State Council John Sangwa, someone intelligent when that person is in support of you. It doesn't work that way. The defeat which the UPND have received in Luangwa is now telling you that people are not satisfied with their ways of leadership. People are now not satisfied with the way they are handling issues. You can't be dealing with issues in the fashion which is not making the people happy. What you are supposed to do is to look at yourself and say, am I really doing the right thing? The UPND government has lost it. What they condemned previously is what they are doing. There are quite a number of people who were brutally beaten in the same by-election or election which was held in Ruangwa. Among them, the Patriotic Front MP was among the people who were attacked in the early hours of voting. But the question should be, what exactly did the UPND do wrong? The UPND got into power through lies, Mr. Godwin.
But before that, in as much as you can say that the UPND got into power through lies, Mr. Simukoko, they promised jobs, and so far we have seen that they have employed about 41,000 civil servants, and of course they'll tell you that they have ended Qatarism. They'll tell you that they have brought freedom of expression, but the big one, of course, they have the free education, which they have brought, coupled with the employment of 41,000 civil servants. Why should they be losing election a year after, and just after employing 41,000 civil servants, after introducing free education, and after ending Qatarism?
Now, you have asked me quite a number of questions, because the way I can answer the question of free education, the way I can answer the issue of employing the civil servants, it can be different. Let me start with the issue of free education. When you talk about free education, it must be coupled with the cost of living. How are the people surviving? You have a child. That child previously was paying a 200 kwacha per term. Meaning in 3 terms that person is required to pay a 600 kwacha. When that was happening, a price or a bag of mini meal, a 25 kg, was costing 120 kwacha. Now it is costing 150 kwacha minimum. Apart from that, when you look at different prices of commodities, let us look at cooking oil. Cooking oil has become expensive. When the UPND's thinking is useless, let me be categorical there. How is their thinking useless? Their thinking is useless in this fashion. The UPND think that the pupil pays for him or herself. They don't. But go to Mnaindapoku school. I have been to school. Immediately they chase you at school that you haven't paid your school fees. You are not getting your money to go and pay. Instead, you are reporting to that parent, saying, or to that guardian, that I have been chased from school because I didn't pay for my school fees. That parent will say, let me get the money and give you so that you can go and pay. In this case, who is enjoying free education? In short, pupils have been going to school freely. Instead, parents are the ones who have been paying. Now, the paying of school fees has just changed from the way they were paying now to the cost of living. In as much as that pupil is going to school, panyumba pafunika pankala unga, panyumba pafunika pankala salad, panyumba pafunika pankala almost vonse malaiti pafunika kugula. Apart from that, panyumba pamene paja bafunika wa making sure at vonse vefunika kuti mwana aende ku school vilipo. How much are the electricity units costing today? Quite expensive. Meaning, free education, if in 3 months we are only paying a 200 kwacha at school, malite then mwambolipira 2 months chase mulipira imu 400 kwacha. Previously, for you to just pay for electricity, you are only paying a 200 kwacha in each month yasira. Manje bantu balipira ma 400. Apart from that, Mr. Godwin, mutengo wa unga, bantu benzo gula unga pali 120, apagula pali 150, 180. Last time I was in the copper belt, they were buying 190 per 25 kg bag. What is that telling you? It simply means ujamwana lokwa ende ku school, the payments which that parent is making on other essential goods have become expensive. since they are expensive than they were, that free education is no longer in existence because bantu balipira ndrama zija zebenzolipira, which was only a 600 kwacha per year kuli vintu vinango and vidula. In short, the monthly budget of a family previously, before government ikadibobwera power, including free education, yenze ingono compared to padilero. I've handled the issue of free education. Let me go to the issue of employing teachers. This government doesn't think properly. It doesn't. It criticized borrowing from the previous administration. Last time when I came here, Mr. Godwin, I told you that the main reason why we have schools, the main reason why we have hospitals, it's because the government of then borrowed to build those. And when you are building infrastructures, it is very important, such as healthcare system must be improved, the education system must be improved as well. Now, since there must be that improvement, what are you expected to do? You need to make sure that there are enough schools in society. Once there are schools, you know that mwana kapunzira, it will be easy for a country like Zambia to begin solving its own problems. Once mwana kapunzira, you will know that for this person to be working effectively, to provide labor to a society, the person should be in a good condition, or the health of that person should be good. That is why banamanga ma hospitals. Now imagine if the previous government didn't build the schools, didn't construct hospitals and clinics. All those numbers which we are talking about couldn't have been in existence. And not only that, UPND shouldn't even boast that they have employed, because any government would have done so, because schools were built already. The moment the Patriots Front were leaving office, they said, we have a deficit of 50,000 teachers across the country. Then there were also a certain deficit on the number of health workers. That simply means any government, even if Mudiokera formed government in 2021, it could have employed the equal number of people, including surpassing that number which the UPND have employed. In as much as the UPND has employed the teachers, there is still a deficit number on the number of teachers who are supposed to be employed. Apart from that, the shenanigans which they played on the issue of census. Mwalembesa bantu test bapasa ati mwenzo using a leakage. Bona munga tinabe validao munga mwebadili. No, it doesn't work that way. The UPND government has lost it almost in every way. What is the purpose of preparing a test? Then mwaona ati muntu akapasa tizamuza ati iyai mwenzo using a leakage. Why didn't they just speak in a mazina? But such a apply. Just like the way the teachers didn't write the test for them to be employed, the health personnel didn't write a test for them to be employed, they could have used the same criteria. Other than, kulembesa bantu, ma test, bapasa, bachosa 90 something at mwenzo using a leakage. Then mwabasi ya matinga bana feruka, mulinzerumo. Nishinzerumo libe. The president of the country has lied on several occasions. Using vulgar language was the order of the day when he was in opposition. Among the issues he raised in Eastern Province, they said immediately tikawina pano, i-bridge tizapanga. Ababali muboma lero, ndalama, baikachani, matako ya pandalama. I'm sorry for using that word, but it's important sometimes. It is necessary, because they have taken advantage of the people of Zambia. Other than that, in the copper belt, iyai basaka bwera kuno ngavaisa bampera 1000 nebatawe ninkwata abantu abengi kunganda ngavaisa bakupera 10,000 wabika mutumba tena kuchitobu bichikalayo. I'm not insulting Mr. Godwin. I'm repeating or echoing what the president we are having now was saying. In Southern Province, when the president was campaigning, I might not speak Tonga fluently, but I can understand Tonga and speak part of it. They were saying, imwe bamuno mu southern, you are not marrying. Simukwatira because economy yavuta. Imwe ngati ndimwe bakazi imwe. He said, mabwaya yanasirira. What is that? Insulting. Yet, the opposition leaders we are having now, bakakambako chepa ngono, arrested. That is why, when you look at such issues, provided you have all the recordings which I have said here, or if you don't have them, I can cut my live stream here and play such audios, play such videos, because the evidence is there. The president was using vulgar language because according to them, they said it wasn't insulting. Mapindafi. At malumbo. So in short, amalumbo. Kulumbo mundu. So pa kulumbo mundu Zambia now, what the president was saying is to use insultious words, such as chikala, such as what? But the question should be, is it worth it? What are you going to gain at the end of the day for using such words? Bantu banaona ati aba bantu abachoneka chabakalipa maningi kutubambe no tukwana naye bantu benzo tukwana bainda mu boma lero abo bantu bamenya huko mu Lwangwa. After bamenya bantu mu Lwangwa babwerera huko makadazi bambomenya bantu. But you are talking about kadarism inasira nanga banamenya MP kwemikoze eri makampeni mu Lwangwa huko ni bandani ni ba UPND who destroyed the camp for the Socialist Party. Ni ba UPND makadazi aba according to the report at Masags ba obvious mwaliteta nje banachita vile. Now here is the catch. People might not be happy because PF was won, but they are happy because UPND has lost. For me, as long as the UPND loses an election, I will be happy. I don't care who wins, as long as that person is not in the UPND. Logocheni independent.
So you are happy with the results?
Very happy because UPND lost. Very happy.
So all you wanted
is for UPND to lose.
It's for UPND
because
to
they
lose.
got into office using lies. That is all I wanted. People might not be happy that maybe PF won. Okay? But I'm sure they are happy that UPND lost. Because there are a lot of people who have been taken advantage of by this government. A lot. Let us not talk about that employment you are bringing up here. Those are rotational things. Any person who would have won the elections could have employed.
Now, talking about the party that has actually won, they only have the acting president, Honorable Given Ruinda. You had parties with presidents. For example, the Leadership Movement, the Socialist Party, the UPND. The president is the Republican president, and the vice president, who is the Republican vice president, was also in Lwangwa, where she spent a number of good days campaigning for the party in power, but being defeated with a party which just have an acting president.
Do you consider Madam Witika to be popular? According to you, Mr. Godwin.
But they are in power.
Whether they are in power or not, but Madam Witika na Lumango, omwema zitanira beka WK na Lumango, is not popular. Believe you me, even if there was any election, na imilira na bana Lumango ine, ningaba wine nine. If the president, there is that law which can help the president to contest as a test in Kabushi, the president can lose to Boma and Lusambo.
So are you telling me that the trend in Eastern Province, though Lwangwa is not in Eastern Province, it's an Eastern block, Lusaka Rulo, yes, in short, okay? Though we are used to saying it is in Eastern Province, because Eastern, for me, begins somewhere in Cheston, as you go to Chongwe, Rufunsa, Lwangwa there. That is an Eastern block. Do you think the trend there is the same with the copper belt?
When we talk about copper belt, the trend will continue. The UPND going forward, my election so chappy, Luangwa has set the path. They are going to lose in Kabushi, they are going to lose in Kwacha, they have lost in Luangwa, just like the way they are going to continue losing the by-elections. For any by-election which are going to have, they are going to begin losing. Once you see that...
But the question is, why should they be losing to the Patriotic Front? Maybe that's the question that someone out there might be asking, because they say that in Zambia, once a political party loses power, it's very difficult for that party to bounce back. But I'm just reading what Honorable Given Lubin has just posted on his Facebook page, that the win for Lawrence Shawa has given hope to the former ruling party to defeat the UPND in 2026. Is PF going to bounce back?
No, I wouldn't want to talk about PF.
Because they are the ones that have won. We are talking about Boma Lusambo.
No, wait. Let me answer the question. I'm not in the Patriotic Front, but I'm in opposition. So I will support my fellow opposition parties. I've no shame in that. I will support them. But for me to begin going into their internal affairs, I think that is not within my jurisdiction. The Patriotic Front, they won the elections because they had the best candidate. In Kabushi, they have the best candidate. In Kwacha, they have the best candidate, provided those who went there to file in their nominations are there, will be their candidates even when the elections commence. So the Patriotic Front winning an election, it's a good thing. If the Patriotic Front will bounce back to power in 2026, I will be happy as well. I will be happy. I wouldn't lie to you. Any party which can bounce into power in 2026, I will be happy. As long as it's not the UPND who will carry the day. Because one, the only thing that we want is to see the people of Zambia live decent lives. What we want to see, I know the Patriot Front have learned their lessons from the previous issues which the people of Zambia raised, issues to do with capitalism, and so on and so forth. However, them winning an election, it's up to their strategy, the strategy they are using, because I'm not in the Patriot Front at the moment. So for me to begin going into internal issues, I might say something here, issues. I know we can have such conversations, but I think for me to go into that internal part on how the party is running, what I think they can be, I'm not there, I don't sit in their meetings.
Coming through on 0965830293. You can as well catch us on Zeno FM. Let's accommodate a few calls, then I give you a chance to respond, then we get back to the calls. Hello, good morning. Kwa Mlishani Bampunda.
Mr. Mpunda, I'm calling you within Saka.
Yes, Bampunda, you can go ahead with your comments, sir.
You know, I offer to London, PF which are capitalism. But the boldness of PF Lungu, if you actually wanted to ask more, compared to Nabaemungi. So, if you have a joke where I take you where you was up, because of what time wanted to ask Monama to the end. That's why it externally great to what they now. Because in our Akas to a government, Dolo Mufi. Lungu Mutua, over to our Pelavan Twig. But the witness never got to Pamona. Kadarism. What at what in the want. But if you don't know where it is very possible. That's all from when I think a woman so like whatever you did. Of course, who wish about you to be careful, who will never be that you want to buy Sitaba wish because long what to do, long with it, Musaka from Nomulan. To externally great for one. Our e government Jackasso, all over fee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow, that's Mr. Mpunda there. 0211-293435. Hello, good morning.
What?
Yes, Mr. Moses, you can go ahead with your comment.
Thank you so much. Greetings to in the studio. I've always been saying that in even background in Walungu, what is this government? The president is a very good president that we have. But the problem that I have is the people that surround the president. And you can't go in a government and then you start demonizing a party that did so much. Me, I saw it even in the MMD. Tinali kuona Mama Zembe, tinali kuyaona chambe through my by-elections. But when they won my PF from 2011, they started the massive, infrastructure development. And you cannot say they have done nothing. They were just stealing and so on. So they need to change their message by UPND. First of all, some appreciate it. We appreciate and we love these people. However, also give us the chance so that you can also see what we can do. Not you go there and start demonizing, appreciate. So what am I saying here? They need to change their message. They have a very good president. He has started on a good note. Mozambian Vinako Asiako, so that's what democracy is. Now, for them to start losing, they need to sit down. How is our message? Are we practical when it comes to fighting violence? Those are the things. If they are not practical, then they will go. That Kumanchito. Which lessons you gain, more especially the cultures and the what? You know that the results. You think you maintain the number while you are taking those people coming from here. Then the other thing is now, also the UPND president, the president of the Republic of Zambia, should learn something. He left all those guys who fought for him. No, but that the most coward people, the people who are lame. The president of UPND now, he thought he can bring people educated, leading people who suffered for the past. Leading people such as Venerari Mwekwa, leading people such as Venemasa Niship, leading people such as William Band. Those are the people who were fighting. The people who were fighting on the ground that been left. When they went to campaign, where are the foot soldiers? This is the lesson to learn. The president has done a lot of things for this country. No one is going on the ground to give you that information because he has left the foot soldiers. Look what he has done. The president has done a lot of things. The education, the numbers, people have got jobs through without connection. They have done everything. But it shows you that you cannot give your people. If you go to State House today, the good number of people in the State House, there are people who never know. If you ask any UPND card on the ground, you know this one. They have never seen them. The people who are suffering with the party, they have been left. So the president is the time he does something. He doesn't do anything. Still 2026, they can go. The people, if people are voting for the development, the room could have not come up to the power. But people vote for the information. The president has no information. It's like the president is waiting around. Look at the way they treat their cutters. Look at Garingombo, the way he's treating their cutters. This is a good lesson for Garingombo to bring something that the cutters are important, but cutterism is not aroused, but the cutters are important. They're the one who keeps the fight. I thank you.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0211-293-435 is the number that you are calling us on. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Fanua Mangala.
Thank you very much.
You can go ahead with your comment, sir.
My comment is, I'll begin with your radio station. In fact, you have been more than helpful to the UPND. Sometimes you yourself, with your colleague, McPherson, have advised the UPND to say, don't always say that these people did nothing. These people did nothing. No. That assertion is wrong. The PF, you see, is something that's going to live up. Sometimes people have said that the life under the PF was even much better than we are in the UPND. But never listen. The president himself, he appears to be a man who is working alone. Because he's looking for people to clap for him. He's looking for people who are clapping for him. They are not working as a team, no. You can even see that this is a group of leaders who are inexperienced. They are not experienced, no. And that they don't want to share the little that one has in terms of experience, no. So this party, the UPND, has brought problems. That's why people are saying we are not seeing what they are doing. And it's true.
This time around with the PF, the country had opened up almost everywhere. One would see what they were doing. Within the number of days, 100 days of their stay, nobody is feeling any impact from the UPND. So I think I want to congratulate the PF for everything. And I think this thing is started now. I think they are on the winning trail now, the PF. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll get back to the cause because we are looking at the by-elections which have just ended in Wangwa, and of course the PF have been declared winners. Now, Mr. Simukoko, Eastern Province is a farming block, is a farming area. And I know, as I said earlier, Eastern Province is, Rwangwa is not in Eastern Province, but it's from the Eastern Bloc. Until now, FISIP has not yet reached them in an area where there are by-elections. In an area where there are by-elections in Kabushi and Kwacha, someone went with a Chimazembe to go and demolish people's houses. How do you describe the calculating of UPND's political moves?
The UPND, by its nature, has got quite a number of things which they need to learn from the previous administration, just like the way the callers have said. I was with Otis last time here when we were having a debate.
And he was supposed to come. He gave a late excuse to say, because we have lost an election, I cannot come on the program.
Yes, so such are people which you are having in government. But
they have lost it. Why should we come when they have lost? What is he going to say?
Why should you fail to do something because you have not made it or because you have lost? No, you come.
So just for clarification purposes, our dear listeners, I was supposed to have the Lusaka Province Information and Publicity Secretary, Mr. Otis Waria. Unfortunately, he sent a message in the early hours of today that we have lost the Rwangwa by-elections. Hence, I cannot come for the program. So that's the reason why he's not here. And on short notice, we have Mr. Simukoko here. You can continue.
And I think that shows how effective I am. 8 hours, I'm here. I will go bataba because I lose my elections. Getting back to the issue. The callers, during that day, they were telling him, including the structures, that look, munachitaya imu. Why munachitahirira? Because we fought for the party. One more thing, Mr. Godwin, which you need to know. Once you are in a political party, the only place where you can work, it's your own business, your own company. Because by law, you are not supposed to work anywhere. Nangani company bwanje iza mingenesa nchito. Because wakambata iwo ni politics iwe. Ba makadazo ngapwelepa na watu ngera company ya. So they don't employ when you are involved into politics. They were fighting for such, at least, that they can be employed. Now, you are failing to take care of your own people. For me, I have no any issue if the UPND began appointing their own people, of which they have done part of them, who are qualified. You need to remove political tags, then begin helping people. By UPND were done daula nangai mwa Godwin mzafika kuti. Nangai ine mzafika kuti. So, coming to the issue of the farmers. Number imwe ku Ministry of Agriculture, mwalikuwa taba mtolo. Finga bomba kuli. Kuliba mtolo. And by nature, where I come from, mtolo kanama. Akatoloka kumusambo takekala pamu. Katolokero ku.
Don't bring it in Mbuya now.
No, just hold on. So, kamtoloka toloka kayo, in short, it has no permanent place to stay. Kalatoloka. So is the case with the statements with the issue. So in short, what I'm trying to say is that they are not consistent. Once there is consistency, it is very important that you deal with that. Manje, imwe, Ministry of Information, the kind of information that we see I think Sean Tembo is in love with me. Mwambolete vama love mu government man. I think Sin Tembo is in love with me. But the question should be, how is that going to benefit the people of Zambia? Apart from that, the farmers, they are yet to receive their inputs. They are yet to do so. Apa manja pa bantu bafuni kuyamba olima. And how you estimate the kind of field you are going to plant your plants on is dependent on what you receive. In short, when you receive more seeds, more fertilizers, you know that, okay, this year we need to farm more because we have enough input. Now the people are yet to receive their inputs. It simply means they have failed to plan. If they are going to farm on 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 or 4 or 5, they have not yet planned. And the repercussion to that is, next year, it will be hard for Zambia to have cheaper meal in Zambia, in society. Once that happens, bantu bazamba ku dandaula timtengwa unga wa dola. The effects we are seeing now are as a result of the UPNG failing to supply inputs in time. In Mchinga province, they supplied fertilizers mu March for the previous farming season. Mwana kambata nanga mu March April mvula ya sira yenda kusira hapa. Pera ngwana bwela mu April mwamene. Mvula ya sira nanga fertilizer zaika kuti. That's how the people faced issues. It's not about being calculative when you are having a by-election. These guys are in power. It's about them doing the right thing. Bataba kuma radio station, among the callers who have called, no person has said, Dioba UPNG bachita chaso na so bataba. And bataba fast. Bataba fast. When the PF lost a bit of popularity going into 2021, benzo pwela pa ma radio stations, bantu benzo tu mama phone, they were not cowards. PF were not cowards. That is why they approached the issue of the IMF, the issue of gay rights, with firm and order. Today, when you talk about Lusaka July, as if that was the official day of opening, those people, because they came to the public freely. And the interviews which were there, they said, look, it's not only you who voted for the UPN, so we need to enjoy as well. What is that telling you? Now, if that is an excuse that Bangabwe is so happy because now Bana voted by UPND, it simply means aliense mundu ana votera by UPND, so afunika kumugira pokudu wa police lo kwa panga mlandu because ana votera, and that person needs to be free. So such issues were raised. What image are we painting to our neighboring countries who have made a decision to be against such vices? We are telling them that we are not with you. Instead, we are with the countries who have approved that gay rights are allowed. Don't talk about the flags.
We have seen that a number of those that are alleged to have sodomized other people have been arrested. So who
has been arrested?
A number of them.
I want to know one because I've not received the news.
The names obviously have been withheld, but
no. Those are statements, Mr. Godwin. Don't take statements. Statements are made.
But the same statements are coming from the spokesperson, the police spokesperson. So who
appointed the spokesperson of the police?
Why should I not take an official statement from the police spokesperson, Mr. Reamunga, and take a statement from who is not into the service?
It doesn't matter whether you take a statement from me, but what I'm telling you is, when I come to you to control the behavior and the rise in concerns, you say, we have arrested them. But when people not arrest, because it's on our post on social media, those people perceived to come out in public, some were even interviewed, saying that even us we voted.
There are people that appeared at Lusaka July. Okay, those, according to the police, their investigations. But there have been scenes of late where people have been reported to have been sodomized, and the perpetrators have been arrested.
Now, look, those are under investigations. I'm not talking about what you have said over the sodomization and so on and so forth, but what I'm telling you is, it is becoming more rampant that we are running away from our cultures. Meaning, the UPND doesn't respect traditions. And that is why, immediately it got into office, it had to scrap off the Ministry of Traditional Affairs. And that is why, for the past governments, they understood that most of the land which we have in Zambia is traditional land. And for us to make sure that there is effectiveness for Zambia's survival, there must be consistent engagements between the government and the chiefs or chiefdoms. When you want to begin farming, I'm marrying the question to what you have asked me regarding the thesis. When you want your country to be a better country, you need to make sure that most of the land is used for agricultural produces or products. The only way you can do so is to engage the traditional leaders. Once you do so, it will be easy, Mr. Godwin, for any person in Zambia to be given a land to farm from, not for settlements. Mwaenda kuli ba chief Katiete mumuchinga, ba chief Tenesi na Waitwika. You go to different chiefs which we are having and say, land isimu yuzinga vili vonse. Spempako bantu ba muno. Bambe kulima hapa. They are not going to be living here. They haven't repossessed the land. But because of the understanding that we have between the government and the chiefs, we are asking that for Zambia to produce more maize, more groundnuts, more cassava, we are asking that we give you help us with the land where people can farm. Immediately you do so, you are going to create employment in your chiefdom. Chief Tenesi na Waitwika will agree to that. Chief Katiete will agree to that. And other chiefs which we have in Zambia will always agree to that. But the government, they have decided to isolate themselves against the chiefs, that the ministry is useless. The Ministry of SMEs is more useless than the Ministry of Chiefs and Traditional Affairs. The question I will pose to you, since the introduction of the Ministry of SMEs, what has been the improvement in the sector? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, if there was that Ministry of Chiefs and Traditional Affairs, there could be such kind of an engagement. So was the case with the Ministry of Religious Affairs. For the fact that the previous government didn't handle it well, it doesn't mean that that is how it is supposed to be handled. What can they do? Every person in Zambia, and almost every person in Zambia, has a church where that person goes to. It doesn't matter if it's holiness, Pentecostal holiness, UCZ, what, Catholic. But the issue at hand is, every person has a church where that person goes to. No sooner had the UPND removed the Ministry of Religious than we saw the issue of gay rights come to the public. What were they supposed to do with the Ministry of Religious? They can embark on contributions. Those church members pay offerings. Since they pay offerings, the question you are going to ask is, where does that offering go to? It helps the marginalized people within the churches. You can have the church to create employment. Ministry of Religious Affairs can begin holding meetings with church leaders.
We have to
open
the lines.
Give me 1 minute.
Get to interact with the people.
So give me 1 minute. Again, I conclude on this issue.
As you conclude, talking about the Ministry of Religious, it's a ministry which has been turned into a desk. It is not that it was scrapped off completely, but it has been turned into a desk at the office of the vice president. Don't you think it is still operating the way it used to operate?
No, listen. There is no effectiveness in that. The vice president's job now has become doing door-to-door campaigns. That is what she's just doing. Now, look.
But what did the ministry do? The 5 years that it was in existence?
That is why I am telling you now that because the ministry wasn't handled properly, it doesn't mean that the ministry is useless. And that is why I am giving you solutions to what the government should or could have enhanced on to improve the ministry. That is why I'm saying if the Ministry of Religious Affairs holds meetings with church leaders and say, in your church, we want you to begin at least opening businesses with church members. You are a church member,
That's
Mr.
the controversy
now,
that you are bringing to the church.
No.
When it comes to the church issues, let's leave it
Listen, Mr. Godwin. The Ministry of Religious Affairs. It's not controversy. Understand me.
It's
the church already does
that you
so.
are bringing into the church, because the church have got its own way of running things.
Now,
so
listen, look.
If you start telling them to start running businesses,
no. Listen, Mr. Godwin.
You disagree with a lot of pastors.
You have concluded before I finish what I was saying. I think it's not good for.
But that's what you are saying.
What I'm saying is the churches still help the vulnerable people.
One, go to your area statement.
Apart from that, churches have schools, meaning they run businesses. Catholic has Catholic schools. When you talk about Bread of Life, it has got a university, Blessings University. I mean, it is running that business. People are employed in that business. However, how can the government help the church to enhance such kind of a proper initiative?
So do you think the Minister of Religious Affairs
that is where I am saying
to be involved in the school which the church is running when you have the Minister of Education?
Look, Mr. Godwin, when you have a Minister of Religious Affairs, the Minister of Religious Affairs will act as a mouthpiece for the church leaders to the government.
But now the three church mother bodies, and most of these church mother bodies were against the same ministry that you are talking about.
The three church mother bodies, I've told you that the ministry wasn't operating effectively previously, and that is what they could have improved on. However, you are cutting me before I proceed. That is why I'm saying, give me time, I explain what can be done, and so on and so forth. Now, each church has what it invests in. Some invest in vulnerabilities, others help people to pay their school fees, others help their students to pay their tuition fees. There are people who are sponsored by schools, by churches to be in universities. So what I am telling you is, if the government can come in and say, if you are running a business as a church and you have employed or you have managed to effectively run that, you are going to be tax-free for this period. When you do so, the church will be encouraged to do what? To open businesses. Once you open businesses, it simply means you are increasing on your GDP. Once you increase on your GDP, it simply means other things, when there are such economical activities in the country, there are quite a number of people who are going to be employed, and they are not going to rely on the government to employ them. Now imagine if a church can only empower 5 people. 5 people. In Lagos alone, Lagos has more than 30,000 churches. Lagos alone. Yaoundé in Mozambique has over 50,000 churches in that city. Congo Kinshasa has more than 50,000 churches. Zambia in particular has more than 20,000 churches. Meaning, you can't do your work by excluding the church. That is what I'm saying. Almost every person, almost every citizen has a church where he goes to or she goes to. You are a church member, Mr. Godwin, you can't deny that, of a certain church. Meaning, you are among the people who are controlled by the church. Okay? Now, when you look at the church itself as a way it improves or shapes society. Once you do so, if only 5 people were employed or empowered by the church, 5 people are empowered in a church. On average, I have said Zambia has about 30,000 churches, the whole country. Those 5 people, on average, let's put 20,000. That's 20,000 multiplied by 5. 20,000 multiplied by 5. You are going to have 20, 40, 80 there. Then you are going to have 100,000 people empowered by the church. How many people did the UPND employ? Less than the figure I have mentioned here. That simply means a church can be harnessed by making sure that they dwell on that, and for them to do so, they require the help of Ministry of Religious Affairs. Of course, without excluding the 3 mother bodies.
Let's accommodate callers again. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
The voice of Luapula. You can go ahead with your comments, sir.
Kafuimbi abo bachifu na waitwika bandi na bakatiete bandi so ngana balumbula nishwati yokwena nimpalume shandi. Emkwai.
Wamwe ekibalecho ebafire balandire kuri agriculture ya agriculture takubisayi need on to kweba cyane lokwaje amacooperative abantu baona olempia kupanga amacooperative anje ukugutenda tete cyari ali byashi yakufunya meno aho pale ama 1000 tuwapoza nango 3000 we mutsokola yake witende tete yali yashu pakwali condition era nomba abantu bapanga amatete ngachita fly fine balela ndakiti njara na lero lusengo lwambwa tekirengana ekyo kiri ngiyokuba tapali yako mlea ba UPND ngata the UPND is going to lose. This is a packet which has brought misery. We have been telling them the vice president camped in Rwanda for a long time. What did she do? Nothing. Power tapali kemolekika munerusa my election within 1 year mwambo kulusa my election tulemye basungeni mwino abantu benu mwalipirwa n'okusunga abantu wenu mwino baalipirwa amakola balira kira mushiku amakola gibabo n'amasapota gibabo balipirwa n'okusunga abaana baabo pamayanda amakola gibabo. This is a lesson to the UPND and the UPND 2026. This is why we are saying it's a very vibrant opposition, especially in the PF, Nation Tembo na Wandi. If you work together, the UPND will be nothing but a shell in its own cocoon. So, today, opposition. UPND Japani ekwele twala abantu UPND nayo na ule jalo Japani ekwele twala kukabushi tulemi soka mwebe na kabushi. Take an example from Rwanda. Tulemi soka ba kwacha. Take an example from Kabushi, from Luangwa. Luangwa has shown you that it doesn't tolerate any.
As you conclude, we allow others as well.
Conclude, Simukoko. The UPND have walked the walk of shame. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. It's 0211 29 34 35. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lungu. How are you?
Very fine. How are you, sir?
Who is that man in the studio?
Simukoko Lazarus.
Okay, is he from the same party you hosted that man yesterday?
No. Okay.
Nichapwa PF vera de panufinga laisa papa radio apa kwa that UPND na PF tabaka wekele mpawa UPND ni forward kulema akakeneka kamera ko balala that UPND na even PF challenge.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
This is GK within it.
Okay, but GK, why do you think UPND has lost in Rwangwa? That's what we are looking at. Why do you think you have lost in Rwangwa?
Yes, it's normal, Mr. Lungu. It's normal for any political party to lose. It's normal. People should not just celebrate, even Kabushi and what will get. No. That would be a different ball game, Mr. Lungu.
And the question that people are asking is that why have you lost it to a party which only have an acting president, and you have the Republican president and the vice president, and the vice president was in Rwangwa for so many days and only to receive a result that have never won them an election?
You see, Mr. Lungu, that's why I said people, they have chosen what they want. We cannot deny that. If people wanted to pay for mayor to continue, well, that's it. We can't deny it. This is democracy. You see? This is democracy. We are in a democratic dispensation. People, they have right to choose whom they want.
All right, thank you very much. 0211293435. Why has UPND lost the Rwangwa Town Council chairperson by elections? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Godwin.
Yes, Mr. Chandachimba, you can go ahead with your comments, sir.
See, it's a shame that
volume on your radio set.
Thank you. It's a shame that the UPND has lost these elections. This shows that the PF still has impact on the ground. Let us be honest. If you can lose on the grassroots, then you say, no, this is just a matter of time. And the whole matter, it was there. The problem that I find with UPND now, as I support them, there is no cooperation in the UPND. There is no one has ever seen the grassroots as people. You can hear even when they come on radio, they complain all the time. What kind of a party that cannot even look after its scholars? That's not the way we lived. We've supported PF. I want to tell you the difference between the two. The PF is the most united and the organized political party. Don't look at it like that. We have worked with it and we know it's better. In the UPND, the problem that we find, you want to go and see the Secretary General, it's not available. If you want to see the word German, it's not available for a caller like me. How are we going to wait? Because we call the radio station using talk time. administration using resources. And we are talking about losing to a party that is kicked out 1 year ago from power. It's quite embarrassing and it's quite painful. I will not be part of the UPND that will comfort myself. I'll be part of the UPND that will say it's embarrassing and it's time for us to wake up and put the house in. If we are not careful, the PF can bounce back to power. Like I told you, this is the most organized, and I know how these people work. They can even work 01 so. I know Antonio Mwanza, personally know him. I know how they work. They tirelessly work. So this is the time to put the house in order. This is not the time to start comforting ourselves. As it is, the opposition political parties are more organized than the ruling party. And we have a situation where the government is planning on its own. It's not planning together with the political party. Anyone that is in the UPND is a cadre. Then those that are wearing suits and ties who are permanent secretaries, they are executive members. How do you have a party that is running parallel to its structures? You cannot win.
As you conclude, Mr. Chandachimba.
In my conclusion, what has happened is a shame to UPND. It's time to wake up, and congratulations to the PF. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0211 29 34 35. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lungu.
Yes, Mr. Siame, you can go ahead with your comments, sir.
Thank you so much, my brother. Good morning to the guest there.
Good morning, Mr. Siame.
Thank you. First of all, Mr. Simukoko, I want to say, radio only cannot make you win an election. So I'm urging you, Simukoko, as a political party, that you need to come down and start interacting with people in readiness for 2026. Start forming branches. So that when we reach 2026, we should have a very strong opposition that this UPND that have failed to govern this country, who have nowhere to start from. Because by that time we would have been united and ensure that you organize all the structures. You cannot say that, it's normal to lose an election. You see, mayoral election is a structural election. It's very different from these other elections we talk about. Because most of the time, people who vote are the grassroots. If you cannot have a political party in power failing to win a mayoral election, surely, then what do you expect from these other elections as a member of parliament? It means that these people have no people on the ground who can stand up and ensure that they win the elections. Because most of the time when you buy election, people who vote are structures. Ordinary people, they can only turn up to go and vote. It's during general elections. Yes, not all the structures can wake up in the morning to go and vote. But at least you need to have more numbers from the structure to go and vote. This is why you have seen that the Patriotic Front are still intact, because they are interacting with the structures. So I'm urging you, Mr. Simukoko, to ensure that make sure that you have structures on the ground. For you to call yourself as a political party, you need to have section chairman, you need to have branch chairman, you need to have ward chairman, you need to have constituency chairman, you need to have provincial chairman, so that when 2026 comes, when you say that we are entering into an alliance with someone, at least you have numbers to produce. Coming to the Rwangwa by-election.
And you have 30 seconds, sir.
Thank you. Coming to Rwangwa by-election, I think it's a lesson to the ruling party. Ruling party, you are known to have the muscle. You have everything at your disposal. You went to give this so-called social cash transfer so that maybe people can vote for you. The social cash transfer, it has failed. We are telling you to say, make sure that the environment is conducive for everyone to trade. Businesses are going down. And you are there to say, no, we have employed teachers. Are people going to eat teachers? The answer is no. Even teachers themselves, they need to eat at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Godwin and Mr. Simukoko there.
All right, thank you very much. We accommodate a few more, then we allow the guests to respond, then we conclude. Hello, good morning.
Godwin, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Shkubabe. You can go ahead with your comment.
My brother Simukoko, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Skubabi. How are you?
Me, I'm okay. Mr. Simukoko, when I always tell you that the worst government so far we ever had in this country is UPND. Sometimes you can speak that I'm just speaking from without. Me, I'm coming from Eastern Province. You know the people of Eastern Province where they are. When you promise them that me, I'm going to do this, they will follow you. You know what happened to UPND? They were cheated that the price is going to be 250. If you talk of Eastern Province, the only job which they do there's no industry, there's no one. It's only agriculture, it's only their business. But look at the way they have handled. In this time, it's a disaster, I'm telling you. That's the true and the fact. It's a disaster under UPND. The UPND themselves, they inherited this country with a bumper harvest. There was more maize in the Eastern Province. They've been failed to buy it. But you look at it today, no maize. No whatsoever. People of Eastern Province, they are suffering. Eh? When you go to Eastern Province with full force, beating people, smashing people's cars, you think that you become popular. The answer is no. They lost in Sangara with the same situation, beating people, smashing people's cars. What was happening? The same thing. If they want the UPND to win in the Eastern Province, let them improve agriculture sector. Let them speak to the Eastern Province, the reality. Those people, they are peaceful, they are just quiet, and they are just watching them. This is the Eastern Province, the way they are. Now you carry cadres, you carry whatsoever, starting broken people, starting beating them, then you will say we are popular. You are going to be embarrassed like the way you have embarrassed. The vice president was here with his full motor cage, full policemen. What was the solution there? Nothing. Eh? Vandani Vakrikonko. This government of UPA, even they have lost the morals. If they are serious with the morals, they would arrest me, let it go. Eh? We cannot have people who are closer to the president, removing the court, remaining naked. No any statement from our Republican.
As you conclude, sir.
Expect from the others, Mr. Simukoko. They will do the same. This so-called Rusaka whatsoever, the president no any statement. Zambia country is a Christian nation. We have to respect this country.
Thank you very much. Mr. Simukoko, your response.
Okay, today I'm very happy, Mr. Godwin, because most people like Voice of Luapula, Mr. Chanda Chimba, they have been baptized into intelligence. I think now they are becoming objective. When you have a government in power which is not supporting the people, you need to worry as a person. Other than that, they have mentioned quite a lot of things, saying the UPND isn't taking care of the people. The people of Zambia are suffering. The UPND has not provided any solution to that. The caller came in and said, when you tell them that people are suffering, the only thing they are running to is, no, teachers have been employed. No, the health workers have been employed. No, free education. But we are telling them that, look, among the people who are complaining are the same teachers who have been working already. Do you expect the story to be different with those who are being employed at the moment? Absolutely not. Na lezi vazamba kudandaula because vakudala ngati vadandaula. Nishiramena vabazadandaula because they are going to be buying from the same shop which we buy from, the shop which has most expensive things. The president got into power with lies. Lies, lies, and lies. And that is why in Eastern Province, just like the way you have said, Eastern Province rely on agriculture. That's why Mr. Chikubabe knows that. That is why Mr. Elvis knows that. There are no industries there. That is what they rely on. This government has failed to provide solutions to those people. Baku Eastern, aba bantu aba mwachitamushe, Bamuluwangwa Umo, you have done well. Our 10 is in the copper belt. I'm sure there is also another person who came in, which is Mr. Siame, saying that we need to work on our structures. Mr. Siame, we are going to work on that. That is not a big issue. We will do so. Again, apart from that, immediately they reschedule or put the date for Kabushi and Kwacha by-elections. My target will be Radio Chengero, iWave Radio, it will be Flavor FM, it is going to be among the radio stations in the Copper Belt. In short, I am telling you that our focus will now turn to the Copper Belt. All I want as a person, all we want is for UPND to lose those 2 seats.
Your concluding remarks.
My concluding remarks are the UPND have failed to deliver to the people of Zambia. And the people of Luangwa have shown the path for the by-elections that are expected to be held in those 2 constituencies. UPND has allowed distortion in moralities, and what we expect is that they have run away from the syllogism. Once you run away from the syllogism of your own inefficiencies, you are expected to have a bizarre issues. Such are the issues we are discussing here. So 1, the president is in Angola, if not mistaken, but my election, the person fails to go to Kenya to witness the inauguration of William Ruto, but he has gone to Angola to witness the swearing in of the new coming in president. It simply means that the president is being selective in the way he is handling issues. When you come to international relations, Mr. Godwin, I've done that course. International relations has that you need to be patriotic almost to every nation, because you can't survive on your own. The way you handle issues among nations, it will depend on how your relationship with them are. So already as we are speaking, there is distortion in the relationship between Zambia and Kenya. Because 1, the president was supporting the guy who lost. Even for him to congratulate him, it took the Supreme Court ruling for him to congratulate William Ruto. The moment he was elected as president-elect, nothing of that kind happened. So the president is being selective, and when handling the issues of the nation, let him be serious for once. So the focus now, let it be turned to Kabushi and Kwacha. Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin.
Thank you very much. And of course, that's where we